of the major emphases of the Metropolitan Mission are village evangelism and church planting. When I say village evangelism, I'm describing our reaching out to the parts of the country currently in greatest need of our contact. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "India is a nation of villages." And though these villages are rarely separated by great distances from one another, they are separated in various ways from the reaches of cities like ours. India is a country deeply divided by language. The greater part of North India forms a Hindi-speaking belt, for example, while each of the southern states have their own major languages. Including English, there are more than 17 official languages spoken in the Indian Parliament. In reality, including dialects, there are hundreds more. India has 1,403 different ethnic groups. So, as you can see, India is a vast country with enormous diversity in language, culture, status, ethnicity, educational level, and political affiliation. It is a boiling pot. But from a Christian point of view, India remains a nation that is relatively unreached. Conditions for people to really hear the message simply haven't been in place. In most states of India, there are pockets of land with neither the literacy nor the facilities to hear God's word. These areas lack anything that could be described as an infrastructure. Scarcity of water, absence of electricity, paucity of education, and persistent sickness continue to blight large expanses of India. But Christ said, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature." I have said that India contains 1,403 ethnic groups. I can now tell you that only 500 of those groups have yet received the gospel. When the British missionaries came, it was for the first time that many schools, colleges, hospitals, and such institutions have been established. With the process of development, then, came a process of Christianization. With improving educational standards, it becomes increasingly easy for people to receive the word. Missionaries have continued targeting the unreached peoples groups, and even in the Metropolitan Mission, we have been targeting some of those groups ourselves. In recent years, we have been focusing our efforts and hopes on 10 unreached tribes. We have been starting to penetrate these hard, dark segments of our country with the gospel. We were led to start the School of Evangelism. Batches of schools were therefore established, with the purpose of training about 12 students each, sending them to specific dark regions and supporting their remaining there in the long term, to witness, to educate and evangelize. These efforts have been very successful, and in their 2s, 5s or 10s and 20s, people have been transformed. Our evangelists preach the gospel, develop literacy, they have been converted and baptized, and offer prayers for healing, prayers that the village's children will reach a standard to be admitted into government schools. And in the process of doing that, our evangelists have to leave their homes and their kin. They have to travel hundreds of miles and stay in rented rooms. They make enormous sacrifices. Another evangelist, by the name of Parsonages, had been preaching along with his wife and targeting a place called Ipuru. Frequently, they and their children were alarmed by the cobras entering their house, through the gap between the top of the mud walls and the thatched roofing canopy. They endured sleepless nights for weeks, but we went and saw them and prayed for them and comforted them. Furthermore, thanks to financial assistance from donors abroad, Parsonages and his wife and their children are now enjoying life in a well-built, secure parsonage. One of their sacrifices is now resolved, and you can see the difference in their faces. They are preaching with the benefit of a good night's sleep. The parsonages are a central part of the ministry. because they represent the place where the evangelist and his family are based. It is a place where literacy classes are conducted. It enables the targeting of young people. The parsonage is also the place visited by local people for a variety of needs: educational, physical, psychological and spiritual. Parsonages are help-centered, a place where somebody able to help is readily available at any time. It is sometimes said that physicians and pastors are the only doors open 24 hours. The parsonage is a door that people can knock at any time. It opens to everybody's temporary place of shelter. It is imperative to have a parsonage in each village, colony and community that requires one, so that it can operate as a channel of blessing. The pastor and his family are placed there for exuding God's grace, for winning people into his kingdom. Church planting and, where necessary, the building of parsonages is an integral part of our ministry in India. With the financial contribution, momentous achievements have already been made. But a big challenge remains in front of us. In about 20 places, we have been told that we need these kinds of manses to be built, that the pastor, the evangelist and his children can live safely and enjoy good drinking water, and that they, undistracted, can go and preach the gospel, the mandate of any pastor. It's an ambitious effort, but it's one that leaves a lasting impression in the minds and the hearts of previously unreached peoples. As Christians, we are all partners in this shared aspiration. So, may we request that you become a partner in this great work of God.